Hey there, comedy fans. Welcome to My First Joke, the podcast where we dive into the hilarious stories of how comedians got their start. I'm your host, Karim Kanji. Today, I am joined by comedian Carolina DG. Today's episode, as always, is brought to you by welcometotravel.ca. If you're looking for the best and most affordable vacation or trip for you and your crew, check out welcometotravel.ca today. Tell them I sent you. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to My First Joke wherever you listen to podcasts. If you enjoy what you hear, share it with your friends. Leave a review and hit us up with those 5 stars. All right, let's get into it. Here's my conversation with Carolina DG.
Here we are. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for doing this. I know you're busy. You're a mom. You're a comic.
I am busy. I fill my time with random. I have like 8 jobs. Sometimes I wonder what the fuck I'm doing with my life.
Is it just you? You know what? It's the immigrant thing.
I think it is. Like I don't know what it is, but you know what's sad though? I realized on Friday, because Fridays my husband DJs and I'm at home with my daughter.
Okay.
And so I'll put her down and like I'll have maybe a little time on my own. And I like logged in to like do some stuff for this fitness studio that I work for, and I was like,
Yeah.
is this my idea of fun now? Like, you know what I realized? Like, oh my God, like, what's wrong with me? Like, I decompress by doing menial tasks related for work. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's sad as fuck.
Yeah. No, listen, I do the same. Your husband probably has a job, DJs and something else, maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, he just got laid off last week, but they gave him 8 months. No, don't say sorry. He's laughing. But
he's
now
DJing full time now.
But Kareem, he works for me now. Like he's like gonna do my expenses at work. Like I'm happy. I've never had a butler.
There you go. You're living the life. You're living the dream.
It's the best thing that's ever happened to us for the next 8 months, and then I'll
For 8
start to
months at
panic.
least. For 8 months.
Yeah.
It's like, get on LinkedIn. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, again, Carolina, thanks so much for
Of
doing this.
course.
Any questions before we get like officially started?
No, I wish we were recording. That was funny.
We are.
Feel free to use anything.
We might keep this in. We might keep this in.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. Let's get into it, and hopefully, my radio voice doesn't just pop in, and I'll just talk normal like this. But I have this habit of all of a sudden like having a voice. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't hear it. I thought you were very natural.
Not yet, but
if it comes out, I'll press an alert button to be like, "Oh, he's back."
Kareem, you're doing the radio voice.
I have an instructor voice. I have a fitness instructor voice.
Okay.
So I get it.
Nice. Well, Carolina, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. My first question is, what inspired you to get into stand-up, to get into comedy?
Yeah. So, dare I say, I'm always like kind of like a funny person. Like I'm always joking around. I've always been like that. My job before I started doing comedy was like I was the tour guide for retirement communities. So I'd be taking the seniors around, and I would always have like my little punchlines of like, "Oh, watch out for Betty. She's looking for a." It's just no matter what I was doing, I had jokes, and so people have constantly been telling me I needed to get into comedy, and I never really thought I could because I watched this documentary called like The First Time I Bombed or something, and it was like all of these top comics story about like the first time they bombed, and it was like horrific.
Yeah.
I once interviewed to work for Diamond Field Agency, and they had asked me in my interview like, are you just wanting to be an agent because you want to be a comic? And I actually referenced that, and I was like, I don't want to be a comic. I like being the funniest person in my friend group. I do not want to bomb. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But then I started dating and eventually married a DJ, an artist. He's also a musician. And like honestly, I think he just really thought I needed a fucking hobby. Like I was just always like on the weekends I was just going drinking and like basically like going to his gigs and kind of being that annoying girlfriend that's always there. So I think it was half like get a hobby and half like you're creative and you just don't know it yet. So he actually got me the Second City classes and I started
Okay.
producing right after that. And then that's how you get into it, right? You just start producing and then now people are booking me. So that's how it all started.
Oh wow. And how long ago was this?
So see, I don't. I bet you're like me because you have kids, and so I reference like how many. It depends on were we married. Like I'm doing the
Yeah.
mental math.
Yeah.
So it would have been. I'm gonna say it was eight, almost 9 years ago that I started doing comedy.
Okay. And now let me take you back here. Do you remember, not including your jokes at the seniors home, but do you
Yeah,
remember do you remember your first like on stage joke?
yeah. There's a few of them because with the Second City they set you up for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was about, I think one of the main ones that actually I still do sometimes was about working in retirement communities because it's like, I work with the older and the wiser, and people are always wondering what's the lessons that you've learned working, in retirement communities. And it really is that when you are old enough to move into a retirement community, the ratio of men to women is like 1 man to 10 women. So then the joke is like, if you're like an
I didn't know
incel, like
that.
don't be violent. You just have to live long enough to move into a retirement community, and you'll be fine. And now like the joke has evolved to like, if you have a Viagra prescription and clean eyeglasses, the medical term for you is fuckable. And then there's all sorts of tags. But that
No.
was one of the first jokes. Yeah.
Nice. And how was like your big fear prior was bombing.
Yeah.
Um did that happen with that joke or on that first no?
That one never bombs. No. And I think that I um like kind of how there's comics who are, and I'm jealous of these comics, ones that are
Hmm.
just great joke writers. Like they are so smart and dedicated and they're joke writers. I'm not a joke writer. I've not written down shit.
Oh,
So I'm like a personality hire. Like I'm a great host. Like I'm a
okay.
vibe. Like
Okay.
I'm funny, but I'm not always disciplined about like joke writing. But I think that what's nice about that is that I don't have, when I've actually started doing comedy, I don't actually fear the bomb as much because I think certain people might, because like if the joke writing doesn't come through, they don't
Mm,
really like, they might not be like a fun, likable person. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of like fun. I'm a vibe. So the fear of bombing has subsided, although it has happened. I don't
Okay.
fear it as much. And I think that's really because I know that like I feel confident as being an entertainer and being kind of like a fun bringer together of people. So it's given me
Yeah.
some confidence. Yeah.
Did you sort of figure out, oh, let me just be that. I don't want to keep on referencing this, but let me just be that girl that gives these tours and have that same sort of
Kind of. Yeah.
vibe you said, right? Rather than let
That's
me
exactly.
get all in my head and think I'm a
Yes.
comic and have to figure out,
Yeah.
beats and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally. I think about that a lot of like, you're kind of a fun vibe. And so, of course, I think the part that does get me nervous is like bombing in front of comics. Like, that's like the worst feeling in
Mm,
the world. So, I
yeah.
would say that is a fear if it might not be good enough for them. But
Yeah.
to be honest with you, from like, I'm not hostile. I don't do a ton of crowd work.
Yeah.
My comedy is self deprecating. So, it's like, crowds don't turn on me as much because I'm not really giving them any ammunition. I'm like, I'm making fun of myself. So,
Yeah.
and mostly my husband. But yeah, I think so. It's funny you mentioned that because I just started like a new job that's like different from my old job. I used to be like a tech salesperson where I'd give demos. And it's
Okay.
very much like comedy has helped that because
Yeah.
I can deal with like, oh, my app is broken and now I have to like wing it. Like I can do that, you know?
Yeah.
But now that I'm in customer success, it's different. It's like training. And when I got all in my head about it, I actually was like, why don't you just pretend that every time you talk to a client and show them stuff that you're just on a demo? So what you said is very true for a lot of parts of my life.
Interesting. Okay.
Of like change the mindset, and then you won't be as like wrapped up in it.
Yeah. 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 We need to get out of our own heads.
Yes.
I think is the thing. Um, but oh, I wish I didn't have to write. I feel I
Yeah.
have to.
Are
I
you a
feel I
joke
have.
writer? Are you
I
very
have
right?
to
You
be.
write them? Yeah.
I feel I have to force myself to sit down. I have to schedule it. I have to carry a book with me. I have to be aware
Yeah.
that I should write because if I don't write, then what am I going to talk about? Because
Yeah. I love that though because
yeah,
you're freaking Jerry Seinfeld, dude. I respect it. It's awesome. So
yeah,
disciplined about your writing. Like I
yeah.
wish I had that.
Not
I
that I'm
wish
a
I
good
had that
writer.
truly.
Not that I'm a good writer yet. But
I see you do comedy. You're great.
thank you. Appreciate. Although I bombed hard on Friday. Oh my! At an open mic with
Oh, that's the worst. You know what?
with my
How do you
son there,
feel?
Carolina, with my son.
Oh, I'm sorry. And was he like, you're hack?
He
How
was
old is your son
he
again? How old's
he's
your son?
20. He's 20.
Yeah, I
You
might
know.
have a summer job idea for him. We'll talk later. I saw
Okay.
your post. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm always looking out.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and it was like oh after what yeah, I remember because I was writing new stuff and I go, let me try this. And the stuff that I wrote down, I thought it was funny. Then I go, I'm talking too much. Like I'm not getting straight to the point. And then I recalled, yeah, shit, I
Okay.
remember Rebecca Reeds. I don't know if you know Rebecca Reeds.
Yes, I'm not only a fan, but like I would consider a friend. Yeah, like I'm not
Yeah,
super close to her, but like, oh gosh, she's
yeah.
amazing.
She's amazing. And I remember her saying, she's Kareem, just get to the point. You don't have to explain everything. Just get to the point. Assume like the audience is going to understand. You don't need to explain every single detail. Just get to the point. It's different than when you write an essay. You have to explain everything. This is, anyways.
Yes.
That was
Yeah, no,
just me
I
getting in my
appreciate
head.
that. No, I love that. I know of a comic. I won't mention the name. A comic that I love,
Yeah.
and they're always driving the point, um, leading up like too much, and I'm always like, oh, like I don't love that. I think it is good to get to the point.
Yeah. And I remember our friend Carlos. So
Yeah, love
my
Carlos.
first, yeah, he's just a great guy. The
He
first,
is.
the first time I ever went up on stage, like, so I, similar to you, I did a class and then I had a 5 minute showcase and I sent him a recording of it. And he said, Kareem, it's a funny story, but we need like beats in between. Otherwise, you got 5 minutes of just people listening to a story. So like every beat, like some get people laughing from the start and keep them laughing throughout, and then at the end you get your big laugh, right? And
Yeah,
that, like what Rebecca said, that also reminded me. Okay, I need to get to the point.
yeah. You know, it's interesting because then sometimes you have to pull yourself the other way too. Like one of the
Mm,
things my husband said is like you're awesome on stage, but like you're never as funny as you are when you're just like on a work call or we're just with people. And so for me, the challenge is to almost trust myself to be a little more playful. Um,
yes, yeah,
and that's like the example of it's controversial because a lot of people don't like David Spade. I love David Spade. I once traveled to
okay,
see him perform by myself in Winnipeg. And that was his whole thing is everyone was like, your jokes are funny, but the shit in between is way funnier. But it's a balance, isn't it? Like it's kind of one and then it's also the other. Like also
yeah,
let it be loose. But I think what rings true is that you should know the joke, where the joke is, where the laugh is.
yes,
And
yes,
then once you're secure in that then play with it. Because I also have a tendency, especially if I'm drinking and doing my show where I have fun and I feel like 100% I'm hosting, I'll go on a little too much. So it's definitely kind of a
yeah,
balance, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. I think
Truly.
so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is so true. Yeah, there's something you don't need to like. It's good to memorize it, but then you got to allow yourself to just go with the flow, right?
Yeah,
Because the
yeah,
crowd
yeah.
will
I think
feed the
back to
crowd will
yeah,
feed you, right? Yeah.
and they know that you're like, okay, that's the joke. Now they laugh, and then I used to run into the next joke so quickly because I didn't trust myself. And I remember a friend
Yes.
actually kind of said it in a mean way, but I think she just like cared about me. She was, you gotta stop doing that, man. Like, you're not
Mm,
letting them laugh. Like you're just going on to the next thing. So
yeah.
why it is important to record your sets. Although, buddy, when I do record my sets and then I think it went really well, it never went as well as I thought. You know, when you're like, this is a set of my life, and you're like, people aren't really laughing. So I'm not good at that. I'll never listen to it again, but it is good
Yeah,
practice to
for
think about it.
sure, for sure. Um, did you? So what's kept you in? Well, let me. I guess you never thought, oh my God, like 9 years, right? But your first time on stage, what kept you saying, I want to do this again? Like, I want to do this because I don't know, was there a feeling you got outside of just being yourself? Like, what was it that has kept you going or kept you going in the
Yeah,
early
it's
years?
interesting. It's a really good question for me. Like a lot of the comics you've interviewed are very established, successful
Mm,
comics that have gotten specials and things that I
mm,
haven't even, I've never even submitted to. I think I submitted
yeah.
to JFL once. And it's funny because a lot of comics probably are like Carolyn DG Who, but then a lot of the ones from pre-COVID will know who I am, and I've been around for a long time. So what I've done is I found a comedy rhythm that works for me. I think I want to have plans to do comedy more, but I found it is the feeling of elation after the set is done. But I think like every single career I have many jobs. All of them are about building community and getting that dopamine of being the
Mm.
person. Like I love hosting the most because I like literally
Okay.
am the person that hugs people. Like, oh, welcome to the show. Like, I get off on that shit. I'm the tour guide from the retirement community. You know what I mean? On LinkedIn, they would call me a connector, right?
Yes.
Um,
There's a
so it's
sitcom in there,
that.
Carolina, for you, by the way. Just saying.
Yes, I think there is. Yeah,
Yeah.
and fitness is a big one of my. It's my favorite job. You know, it's all about connecting with people. So I think that's what keeps it coming back. I like the feeling of like inclusion, like being included in the comedy community, having a home there. But despite the fact that I haven't had those traditional markers of like this is a successful comic, I've found areas outside of comedy where I've been successful bringing comedy in. I always say
Okay.
this to comics of like, oh, can you send me a poster that I can post on LinkedIn? Because people don't give a fuck if I post on Instagram that I have a show, but on LinkedIn, like my senior
Oh,
living
really?
age tech community is like like they're just like, oh my god, you. To them, I'm a professional comic, right? And I go to conferences, and then I'll like find shows in town and
Oh,
they get my colleagues come. So I've done that, and then I've also have a comedy business where I do corporate comedy. So I do comedy
okay.
for all of the hospital networks in Ontario. I started that in COVID as an alternative to
Good for
other
you.
types of marketing because we couldn't get into the hospitals.
Yeah.
And so it's funny you ask me that because it's on my mind all the time. I'm always on the verge of quitting.
Oh,
But then I find, and I really look and I'm like, you know what? You've built something here. You know what I
yeah.
mean? You've got taxable income from comedy. And so that's what keeps me coming back is like
Good for
continuing to
you.
find ways to make it my own.
I love that. I have taxable income.
Yes.
Oh,
I've got tax. For a while, it was paying for therapy. And I was like, slay, that's $150 a week.
that is nice. That is nice. So, you referenced some of the people that I've interviewed, and yeah, I think some of them are big. Some of them are like just enjoying the journey, sort of
Yes.
thing. Have you ever had a I've made it moment? I'm curious about that.
Um, Yeah, and then they never really are what you think they are, but in the moment it was great. You know, a
Okay.
big one was I did a show, well, one time from from the Filipino community.
Yeah.
One of the big kind of community folks there got me on the Filipino channel and did like a profile like of my life.
Yeah.
That was a big moment because it's like the Filipino channel, it's me. It wasn't really about comedy, but it was about like all of the things I do and being a mom. There's been
Yeah.
a lot of there's been a lot of moments in like the corporate world that I've been really proud of. Like I did a comedy show for when I worked for this one senior living company. I was a regional, but I was the head of the social committee for the whole company. So we had like 32 communities across the country.
Yeah.
And I did a comedy show for every single community with the president of the company, who fully roasted me. And then Adam
Wow.
Christie headlined and roasted the CEO. And that was huge because it was really kind of like, wow, like this is something. I remember I had Steph Toloff do a bunch of corporates, and I thought I was going to get fired. Like I was going to get in trouble because she's so raunchy. And they loved it. And these companies, they continue to hire me. So
Awesome.
I've definitely had those moments of, I had a big corporate where I got a big paycheck a couple weeks ago. And I actually kind of bombed the show, but I was like, who fucking cares? Like I produced it, the comics got paid, I got a big check. So definitely. And I think the challenge too is that allowing myself to celebrate, because comics, I am very much a comic in that I am very confident. I can't even be cocky, but I'm also very self deprecating and I feel like an imposter all the time. So it's also
Okay.
allowing myself to say, that is great, Carolina. Just because you're not this and that, it doesn't mean you can't let in the good stuff. So I think I'm getting a lot better at that. But a comic told me when I had a great set yesterday, she said, "Oh, you did so great. I wish you would do more comedy." And I started going off. "Oh, I'm not really a comic." And she's like, "You really got to stop doing that. Like,
I hear you.
it's not helpful. Like, putting yourself down and deprecating all the time. It's
Yeah.
not going to get you anywhere fast." So I've come a long way, but I got a long way to go with that. But
Fair
yeah, I
enough.
definitely have proud moments for sure.
Okay. Am I messing up your name? Okay. So can we set this Carolina, Carolina? What do we?
No, it's both. I opened with that joke always. So I had two
Okay.
people in my wedding party. One calls me Carolina, the other one calls me Carolina. And my joke is I had a therapist for years that called me Gabriella sometimes. Like I don't care.
All right.
But you're Scarborough. So Filipino people have nicknames. So I was raised like, I just let her a burp. I was raised like not being called by my birth name. And then in
Yeah.
high school, I went to a new high school. I rebranded as Carolina. But then my parents were like, it was Carolina. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I don't care. So honestly, call me Carolina because that's what you call me. And I think that our mutual friend and colleague Janice calls me Carolina as well.
Okay. And I think I
Yeah.
messed up her name as well. I haven't figured out if it's Janice or Janice because
I'll
I've
call her
heard both.
Janice, but I think it's Janice. Yeah. I call her Janice because her Instagram name like goes nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I say Janice, and also Scarborough, and she's a vibe.
There you go. Fair enough. Um, how has your style evolved, or has it?
Oh, 100%. I used to be extremely blue, very dirty,
Okay.
disgusting. Like, oh, nasty. But it was natural to me at the time. I was kind of living my life. I had a libido, you know what I mean? My husband and I were doing it all over the city. I don't know if you're not going to get this, but I'm right now on a series of Science and Humans Instagram ads about menopause. I'm the face of low libido. You don't know this, but right
Now
now
you
I'm
are.
the face of low libido. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, now my literally I'm like low libido and people are clicking and asking like, "Oh, did it work?" I'm like, "I'm just a paid actor. I still have a low libido. I have no solutions." But like I'm a 43-year-old woman now, right? I was like in my early 30s when I started, mid 30s. I'm a mother. It's very much like I kill at a menopause themed show. I
Yeah.
kill. It's all about me transitioning and accepting who I am. It's very, very personal. So that's why I
Yeah.
don't write a lot, because my daughter will find my
Oh,
vibrator and then I'll have a joke about it. Just like, this is what happened. I'm just like, I'm telling you what happened today. But then people are like, "Oh, do you actually do drugs and shoplift?" I'm like, "No, that's just a joke I wrote."
that's. um, do you feel? I guess it evolves, right? Because now you're talking about your life now, and who knows?
Yes.
5 years later might be different, and your voice might be different based on you know
Yes.
who you are and what you're going through. Um, this has been great. I wish we could talk forever. I got like two other people I need to chat with uh,
Yeah. Do you have
today.
two other recordings today?
I do. I do. I'm
That's
I'm crazy.
amazing. Do
I'm
you usually
crazy.
stack them like that? You'll do like a bunch.
No, it's because my life is so busy, and I said I need to get back to podcasting only because I'm going to need it for something. And it's not just the podcasting and having these conversations, but it's also, I'm not the biggest tech guy in terms of taking this conversation and then publishing it. You'll find I'll snip the ends off and I'll let it go to the world.
Yeah.
But it helps me to keep, it helps me to remember what that process is, so that if something comes along where I really need this skill, that I already have it, right?
That's amazing. I can't believe I
That
don't have a podcast, so
Yeah,
I'm very envious. It's almost like everyone's podcasting, and it's just like it's so good to do it though because it's such a great skill. My old company. I used to host their age tech podcast, and then none of my
okay,
colleagues liked doing it, and I put my heart and soul into it. And I would
yeah,
like get really into it with them, and then I realized my company never even listened to the podcast; they would just post it.
that
I
is
was like, I
nice.
care about it so much, but yeah,
Two more questions for you.
yeah.
Second last one. Up and coming comics that we should be paying attention to.
Carlos Carlos from Scarborough,
Yep.
100%. Um, I really love, and this is not up and coming. I really love Carl Patton. He's like me and my husband's favorite comic. I find we talk about him too much. I actually told Kyle the other day. I'm like, maybe we want you to be in a throuple. I don't know. Like we talk about you all the time. He's
Yeah.
such to me just. I book him for everything, and and every time people love him. So Carl Patton is a big one. Monica Gross, a good friend of
Yes.
mine,
Okay.
um, is something really special, and yeah, I think that those are the ones that I would want to mention. But there's so many. We've
Yeah,
got good talent here, and it's kind of it's interesting to really accept that there is enough room for all of us. That there is a ton of good talent here.
that is so true. Carolina, where can people find you and find out where you're performing, or where is a good place for people to go?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. I post my shows there. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm huge in the age tech community. Just so you know, I've been working in senior living for 24 years. It's a slay. But also, I produce a show at the Piston that is quarterly, but it just kind of like is whenever I want to do it. But it's about quarterly. It's a fun show. It is a great venue. So look out for the Good Company comedy show at the Piston.
Awesome, awesome. Um, Carolina, thank you so much for
Yeah, that was
joining
so
me.
much fun.
Yeah, let me sign off. Thanks everybody for tuning in to my first joke. I hope you had as much fun listening as I had chatting with our guest, Carolina. If you enjoyed the show, subscribe to My First Joke wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. Share it with your friends. Take a moment to rate, review, and 5-star the podcast. The website is myfirstjoke.ca. My name is Karim Kanji. Carolina, I'm going to put you on the spot. Until next time, remember,
You're doing better than you think you are. Yeah.
there we
I love
go.
it. Yeah, I'm
I should
Oprah.
I should have prepped you before, but you did awesome. Thank you, Carolina.
Thank you.